What she says does seem to make sense. If she's blaming herself on her birthday, she may well be ruining that she was ever born. The fact that Lily seems so in the dark about it though, almost to the extent that I am, is a surprise. So that's why she lives in the student dormitories as well. Has she told you any more about the accident? As close as we've come. She's barely told me anything about what happened. What I know about it is largely conjecture. She sounds depressed, almost defeated. Considering the trauma Hanako must have gone through, I can't really fault Lily for not knowing. Nevertheless, she still seems to consider it a personal failing. Don't blame yourself, Lily, with everything she's gone through. I know, thank you, Hisao. I'm sorry I can't be more of help to you. It's fine, I'll just give it some more thought. Thanks, and have a good time in Scotland. It's nothing. Thank you for taking care of Naka. No, Lily, say what you wanted to say, damn it. Okay, Hisao, oh man. Bye. Goodbye. And with that, the line goes silent. Oh, bet you she was gonna say I miss you. Amid the seemingly only increased number of questions, I can't answer. The most immediate is what Lily was going to say. Yeah, well, if you fucking asked, if you pursued what she wanted to ask or say, well, at least that's what I wanted her to say anyway. I think that's what she was going to say. I miss you. Oh no. I'm an idiot. She must have thought I was calling to talk with her, but I only asked for help with her. Oh, you douchebag, Hisao. You douchebag. Wow. Even more shameful than the thought that is the fact that such an appraisal would be largely correct. Well, first things first. For now, I need to at least sort out Hanako and make sure that she's actually eating okay. That's the other thing, like if you forget what you were supposed to say to someone or what you initially rung up for, you can't just immediately call them back because it's kind of weird. Like it feels more or less forced rather than like you actually want to talk to them. I mean, what you do, but I'd usually give it maybe an hour or two before you call them next. The occasional passing student gives badly hidden glances at the plate of food I carry to the female dormitories. It's hardly a meal to be proud of, only being an instant microwave meal from the convenience store, but it should at least fill her up. Eventually I arrive outside of her room after having to ward off a couple of girls who jokingly tried to pilfer the food I'd taken so long to procure. I need a drink. I decide to forego knocking, since it was proven to be an utterly useless measure and it's somewhat difficult to do with my hands full. Hanako, it's Hisao. I know you're listening, I got some food for you. Silence, as expected. I'll leave it beside your door, please eat it at least, okay? There, I've said my piece, now it's up to her. Putting the plate down, I walk back to my own room to eat my dinner. That's probably the best thing to do. By the time I return to Hanako's dormitory, a good hour's passed, and hopefully the food's not there anymore. Thankfully, there isn't anything to be seen beside her door. Maybe someone just walked past and saw a meal there and was like, ooh, food. I walk back at least somewhat happier than that she's eating. If she intends to get through this by herself, then being able to help, even if it's just in such a small way, is at least something. Another heart. I'm going through a lot of these hearts. A lot of bandages, a lot of Katawa Shoujos, a lot of Japanese writing I don't understand. I sit reading in the library after school, turning page after page, barely registering the words written on each, out of sheer boredom. With my cheek resting in my hand, I can't help but notice the slightly rough feeling against my palm. It won't be long before I need to get a razor. Giving up on reading, I simply let my head drop onto the book in front of me. Things have quieted down considerably since Hanako began attending school again. When she first returned to class, nothing was said nor done that wasn't part of the usual routine, and it's been the same way since. Neither of us desired to bring up her accident, so there simply wasn't any point in pursuing it. Thus a few days went by, the daily grind continuing just as it had before. It's only natural that my mind would wander to other places, and more importantly other people. The lily-shaped hole in the daily life of Hanako and I has been pretty noticeable for a while now. I'd be pleased to say that this has allowed me time to refine just what my thoughts on her exactly are, but alas, I've had no such luck. Did you bring her back or what? It doesn't help that many attempts to do so have led to the troublesome topic of Hanako. Every time my thoughts drift into that direction, I reflexively try to think about something else. Why did this have to happen now? I turn and look up to the source of the tentative voice coming from behind me. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb anyone. That's not it. I glance around the orange-tinted room, quickly realising how silly my apology must have sounded. In the time I've spent thinking and lazing about in here, everyone's well and truly left. Library closing? If you don't want to go, I could keep it open a bit longer. It's no trouble at all. Don't worry, I should get going anyway, thanks. As I get up and begin to move off, I feel Yuko's eyes drilling into my back. Is there something wrong? You look depressed, are you okay? Yuko nervously twists her fingers as she says this, unsure whether she is overstepping her boundaries or not. I really can't tell if she's more worried about my mood or about bothering me. Normally I'd just shrug it off and assure her that I'm fine, but my reflective mood gets the better of me. Despite being staff, she really doesn't feel as much like an authoritative figure as the others. It's just, I guess the best term for it would be relationship problems. Oh, I'm not too good with that kind of thing. My only relationship ended a bit abruptly. But if you want to talk about it, I mean, I could listen, I think. Now I feel kind of bad for bringing it up. She's not that old though, so at least she has a good chance of finding another partner. It isn't like we're in a bad situation right now. We have spent many days together as friends, sometimes going out to do stuff, that kind of thing. But I'm starting to want to do more for her, learn more about her and be with her more. I'm not sure whether it's actually love or not, though, and our friendship as it stands is enjoyable. You shouldn't let that stop you. Sorry. How to say this? I think that it's nice that you have a good friendship, but school is going to eventually end. Do you think you'll be fine with not knowing if it could have gone further after you graduated? Oh, I've asked that question myself many times. Many times. It's a depressing thought. I guess that's the crux of the problem. I really have no idea what the answer to that question is. Well, I can't really help there. What your true feelings are is something you have to decide for yourself. But I think that if you do love her, you should definitely say something. After thinking about it really hard, I decided that even though my relationship didn't work out, it's still better that way than never knowing if it might have or not. I never expected Yuko to sound so wise. It only makes sense that, with more life experience than I, she'd have a better idea about this. While I suppose not very much was actually answered, talking to her has helped get it off my chest, and I have no doubt that I should confess if I really do like Lilly. I give a slightly frustrated sigh. If only reading so much actually helped when it comes to situations like this. She gives a girlish giggle which only reinforces my view of her as being different from the usual staff here. In the end, it all comes down to what will happen after school finishes once again. Considering what happened before I came to Yamaku, it feels like being asked to keep up with a field of runners despite having started from dozens of yards behind them. It's just one more motive to move on from the past. The last thing I need right now is to get too caught up in that getting homesick while I'm at it. Once again, I find myself calling Lilly. My phone bill is going to be horrific, considering this is international. I'm telling you, man, $2 a minute. A minute. But it's worth it. I don't only want to smooth over her feelings from the last time I called. I genuinely want to talk to her again. Hey, yo Lilly, what up? Oh god, I just spilt my drink. Oh, it's okay, I fixed it. When the phone finally picks up, I easily recognize the voice on the other end. Hey, Mrs. Satao, what's happening? Oh, I didn't clean up my mess, god damn it. Hello, Mrs. Satao, may I, speak... Damn, I've forgotten how the rest of this is supposed to go. It's not encouraging to forget such a small amount of words, even if I didn't spend that long trying to memorize them. May I speak with Lilly, please? Hello again, Hisao. Are you teaching yourself English? Just a little. I don't think I'm too good at languages in general. Oh, don't say that. Your pronunciation was good. I'll get Lilly for you. Just wait a moment. I obediently wait as she goes off in search of Lilly, the other end going silent. Eventually a much more awake sounding Lilly than last time answers, the time over there being past noon by now. Hisao, are you there? Oh! Yeah, I'm here. Hi. Good afternoon. Sorry for taking so long. I was outside in the garden. Gardening? Unfortunately, I've found I'm no good at it, so I just smell the flowers. I think my fingers appreciate it more. I take it Hanako's recovered a bit? Yeah, I just made sure she was eating, and eventually she righted herself. Thanks for the help the other day. I don't think I was really that much help. The main thing is that she's better though. True. How's life over there, then? It sounds like you've been living in nothing short of a mansion. I wouldn't call it a mansion. But it is rather large, is obviously what what she wants to say, though modesty stops her. I'm a little envious, but it is her holiday. Are you sure she's talking about a mansion when she says, but it is rather large? I mean, maybe she's been, you know, watching me on the track and field club days, you know, when I've been running around the track, you know, in my speedos. Maybe that's what she's talking about there. Rather large. It's a nice house to stay in though. There's a beach near here too, which Akira is especially fond of. She's a swimmer? She's constantly dragging me there to have swimming competitions, which she wins every time. Lily doesn't strike me as very athletic at all, so not being adept to swimming seems logical enough. The fastest I've ever seen her move is understandably relaxed pace during her walks to and from the suburbs down the hill from the school. It makes the image of her swimming hard to imagine. The beaches there must look nice. They'd be less crowded than the ones around here at least. Indeed, Akira says the area around here looks beautiful because it's far outside the city. I only realise what I've said after I say it, but it doesn't bother her at all. It's still easy to forget that she can't see when she's not around, despite the time we've been friends. That said, the local accent sometimes makes communication a bit hard. It's a constant reminder that this isn't home. While the fact that she doesn't consider her parents' residence to be her home makes good sense, it makes me realise that I can't really answer whether the same goes for me. Sorry. Graduation from Yamaku is distant enough to be difficult to view objectively, and I've spent so much time in this small room, I've come to accept the dormitory as my new home surprisingly quickly. I guess that would be hard to deal with. Is your knowledge of English holding up? Thankfully, I may be fluent, but being in a position where I have to use it often helps me in curbing my Japanese accent, so it's been useful practice. I hear you're trying to teach yourself English? More like memorizing a few lines and failing at even that much. I'm really not cut out for learning another language. My admission of defeat draws an amused giggle. I believe that there are things one chooses to do in life, and also things that are chosen for one to do in life. You can take comfort in the fact you're better than me in science and math, at least. All that's helped is making me Mattel's star student. I wouldn't worry about it. They're useful skills for many jobs, right? That's what he tells me. His face veritably lit up when I said I'd probably go into career involving either. We both share a warm laugh at the events that have befallen each other on opposite ends of the world. It's nice and reminds me of our simple small talk that I've been missing since she left. As each of us wait for the other to begin speaking, I decide to push ahead with my feelings. I can feel my throat tightening slightly. Oh, here we go. We, I miss you. Aww. Silence on the other end of the phone tells me she's given the words their due weight, but as it goes on I can't help feeling more and more apprehensive. Thankfully, the silence ends almost as quickly as it had begun. I miss you too, Hisao. Aww. Whoa! What? Why? No! Goodbye. Goodbye, Lily. Aww! You can't just end on a note like that. What kind of phone call is that? I miss you, and then just... Oh. Once again, the phone is hung up, simply and without any further ado. So we spill our feelings out to this girl, and she just throws them away like a common rag. The light, tentative, almost shy voice, her warm and soft tone, I'd simply be lying to myself if I were to say that I don't recognise this feeling for what it is. With thoughts of Lily dancing on my mind, I start anticipating her return. Today has been a most excellent day. Oh yeah. Katawa Shoujo. Katawa Shoujo. Is she returning today? Tell me she's returning today. I sit listening to another... Start again. I start listening to another of Mattel's long-winded lectures, my mind wandering far from the scribbles on the dirty blackboard. Since I called Lily, my mind's been drawn in two directions. Both roughly led to the same conclusion. I've started to feel oddly detached from my past life. It's only been a month and a half since I arrived here, yet the school's become a second home. I've gained new friends and contacts, managed to get to grips with the school's lifestyle and culture, and become accustomed to the quirks of my classmates. To become used to a school where disabilities are the norm rather than the rare exception still catches me off guard sometimes when I think on it. The same school is populated by burn victims, amputees, blind, deaf, and all manner of disabilities in between. If someone had described the school to me before I'd come, I'd have shrugged it off as an overactive imagination. Even when I first arrived, I felt like the Dutch coming to the strange new land for the first time. It's amazing how quickly one becomes used to the environment they're forced to live in, really. And now I've even found someone that's got me entirely smitten. What a strange life. Before my mind can wander any further though, I find a page on lined paper slipped under my distracted face. The garish bright pink ink has no doubt been penned by Misha. Don't look so bored, Hachan. School's nearly over. 3-day holiday. Alright, we get Saturday and Monday off. Can't complain about having less school, I suppose. I uncap my pen and scribble on the page before covertly passing it back to her, flicking my eyes to the front of the class every now and then. Mattel continues scrawling away arcane equations and formulas on the board. I'm guessing you have something planned? Misha takes the paper back and hunches over it comically. Even for her, with her tongue poking through the side of her mouth, did she misinterpret my expression as depressed? And is she trying to cheer me up? Student council work with Shichan. Oh, that sounds fun. You're still not brooding over that, surely? But Hachan could have helped us poor, lonely girls. I'll lend you a hand for today if I weren't going to be visited. Ooh, naughty Hachan. I'm just going to meet with Lily Hanako. I'm just going to meet Lily with Hanako. I don't know what you've got going through your head. So Lily's back? Yeah, she's coming on the evening flight with her sister, so she'll be back in school next week. As she takes the note back and begins to write, I look up to see an unwelcome sight. While I frantically try to silently catch Misha's attention, Mattel confidently strides through the gap between the desks from the front of the class, his intent gaze focused directly on her. She suddenly stops writing as his tall figure casts an impossibly long shadow over the page. He silently takes a piece of paper from her and begins to read. Sweating bullets, I quickly glance around the class, noting their complete silence. Of course, it would just have to be the one thing that actually gets their attention during the lesson. After a scant few seconds examining the page, he rolls the paper up into a small tube and lightly bops Misha over the head with it. Half an hour until you can hop off to the student council. I think you can hold off until then. Misha's face cracks as the entire class erupts into laughter. He might well be awkward, but he knows how to handle her excellently. I'd probably feel sorry for her if I weren't as busy as stifling my own laughter. Hisao, is that one it? No, I think that's some foreign airline. Oh, we're gonna go see Lilly! And with this exciting news, I'm gonna end it abruptly, just to be an asshole. Yeah. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed these parts. Yeah. We are currently listening to the music track Ease. The current scene is Renewal, and we've been playing for 4 hours and 42 minutes. So, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed these parts. If you did, leave a comment or a like or a dislike if you hated it, and tell me how much of a faggot I am in the comments, whatever. Anyway guys, I'll see ya.